First class was at 9 a.m. and the play that we're reading is the Misanthrope. Yes, it's in French. No, I don't speak French. But this class is required for me as an English major. Consider French Shakespearean, if that makes sense. If you know Shakespeare, you should know Molière. The title of Molière is called The Misanthrope. And the misanthrope means someone who hates all people. So you know that one person that just can't stand anyone, whether all their family members, their friends. That's Alceste, and he is a misanthrope. But he loves selling men. But he loves the idea of selling men. She doesn't have to be defined by any man. She doesn't have to be with any man, so she just wants to keep her 20s single. And this play is just about selling men, Alceste going back and forth. Characters of selling men, who is the main woman. If you ever had a friend or a person in your life, every guy loves her. It's that sort of idea that Selima knows that she's young, she's in her 20s, she's a widow, and she no longer has to live with any man, and she can be with anyone that she wants. And she loves all these men in the play. She sends them letters and she's seductive. And in class we discussed that we believe that she would have red lipstick. Philinte is Alceste's best friend. I think Arant also loves selling men. Like, everyone loves selling men. That's what it just says. Everyone loves selling men. The selling man only loves Alceste, but she does not want to be with him because she knows once that she's with him, she loses that femininity, I believe, that Molière was trying to portray here. This is, I believe, 17th century. So Molière was very ahead of his time. I actually do enjoy this, even though it's more of a serious play and it doesn't end with a wedding. Usually all comedies end with a wedding when it comes to Molière and his plays, but this just ends with Selima getting put on her butt. She gets called, all the men call her out for all the letters that she sent, and they all don't want to be with her because she doesn't want to be with them. So that is Molière play that I read today. The class is from 9 to 9:50 every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We usually have discussions, and the class is set up in a way where I have to create my own syllabus, and all the assignments are based on things that I want to do. Really cool assignments that I came up with. I actually made my own Spotify playlist from one of the plays. Molière's play was called The Miser. I could put that down below in the comments. And I also did it for Tartuffe, which is another play by Molière. I believe Tartuffe was actually my favorite. But I did a Spotify playlist and I related it to every single act. Molière usually has 5 acts. And it's pretty lengthy. But I say it's lengthy reading these plays. It's actually fun reading a play because it's not a novel. In other classes, I believe my British Literacy 2 class, I had to read one novel. It was called Great Expectations, and I had to read that for a presentation. But for this class, we're just reading plays. So this looks like a novel. It's just full of Molière plays. How long was this one? So it's a Misanthrope, which we're reading now. I did finish reading it. Usually she gives us maybe about a week or a weekend to read an entire play, and then we discuss it Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Misanthrope, it starts on, what is this? Okay, it starts on page 209, and then it goes all the way to, just trying to give you a layout, how long this play is. 273. So 209 to 273. How many pages is that? I don't know, because I don't have to do math anymore. That's why we love English. But yeah, this is pretty much the length. I just always bookmark where we talk about and stop in class. So Please help me remember 228. This much. Not that much. This much. That's how much I had to read. And I read it pretty quickly because I did like the play. And I like Molaire's writing style. Like I said, comedic, tragedy. He's very into his characters. And yeah, I think that's it for Molaire. Yes. Classes. It's my heaviest day. From 9 to 6:30, I have 3 classes and I'm here on campus all day. Oh yeah, and I'm in Oak Hall. Let's just say that. So I have 3 classes, it's a pretty heavy day, and once I get home later on tonight, I wanted to talk about my other 2 classes that I have tomorrow that are also English based, but today I just want to focus on each class, talk about each book. The English major life. I'm pretty much done with, I have 2 minors also. I finished my business minor and also have social media, which I'll be finishing out my senior year because I am a junior. My boyfriend lives in Oak Hall. I don't stay on campus. I am a commuter. A commuter is a person that doesn't stay on campus. It's just a fancy definition word. But right now it should be around 10 o'clock because like I said, my first class was from 9 to 9:15. Usually during this time, like use the bathroom, I take a break, I work on other things. I have to work on a poster for Black Student Union. I have to study for my linguistics quiz, which is later on tonight. And I also have to do some reading for my 2:30 p.m. class, which is literary theory. Reading and studying on this Wednesday. Make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell if you love college videos, if you like my content, if you want to see me do different videos, if you have any questions about Jacksonville University or any of the classes that I'm taking, my experience here at JU. I am a junior, and once I finish this semester, I'll be a senior. Hey, that's pretty much exciting. It has been a tough semester, maybe a little story time on why. But other than that, I'm feeling my spirits lifting up a little bit today because I'm filming, trying to get back out there on my YouTube channel, and I have a lot to come. And I'm glad school is almost over because then I can, film more and talk more on my channel and have my viewers get to know me because I'm seeing my subscribers going up just a tad. Hey, party people. Okay, so I just got out of my 2:30 to 3:45 p.m. class. I have it every Monday and Wednesday, and it is literary theory. This is a giant book that we read out of and we discuss. The chapters were long at the beginning, but they're not long towards the end. And what we studied was, Marty, you gonna say hi? You gonna say that's your room?
I'm tired.
You not gonna say that's your room?
No, it's your room now. You get out.
Ooh, nice. We discuss gender studies, but if I talk about the author that we talked about, YouTube would probably take my video down. Yeah, I'm not saying anything. It was a... I can't even... Feminist. There's a feminist writer just discussing the power of man, and she had 8 really good topics of women and why women should be feminists. That's about it. Ooh, I got stuff in my hair. The wind was blowing too. But I have one more class after this, which is linguistics. Oh, for this class, I have to write a research paper. It has to be 7 pages with works cited, MLA format. And I submitted my research question, which is due today, 11:59, but I did not know that I also need to type up an essay for it. And my research question is based on Karl Marx. Do you know Karl Marx? It's based on Karl Marx and the idea of femininity, because I liked gender studies a lot. That was very interesting. My research question is going to be on, I'm going to meet with her on Wednesday to go over my paper, because she wants to meet with everyone to talk about their annotated bibliography, which I also have to do, which is another assignment. That would be before I actually type up my research paper. The format for the research paper. A research paper is when you have to find a question based on your research, and you have to definitely be interested in it. And from that research question, you form your thesis. Then once you have your thesis, you can have your introduction, body, conclusion, your works cited page, and that's about it. This one's shorter than the other class I'll talk to you about later after linguistics. But I have to get started on this. I've been procrastinating. So once I do my little paragraph, my research question, which I already have, and send that in, hopefully this weekend, I can really buckle down and at least get a good outline of it, because I have 2 research papers that are due in April. And that would be a lot of work if one of them is not at least halfway done more than the other. Yikes. But yeah, I'm gonna go type that up, study for my linguistics quiz, which is my last class today. It's usually from 4 to 6:30. Like, what in the world is linguistics? I'll put a definition here or something. Linguistics is usually from 4 to 6:30, but the professor said that she has a meeting today, so be from 5 to 6:30. And right now it's a little after 3. I think it's in the 80s already. So that's good. That's my boyfriend Brendo.
Hello.
You messed up my hair.
You're welcome.
He's also a college student. His major in psychology. And he's on the pre-med track, which is heavier than having a minor. We'll talk about that later. So today is the next day. Linguistics class went okay yesterday. I don't know what is linguistics? Linguistics, here's a little cute definition. It's all about speech and it's a required class for me. Instead of grammar, I took linguistics because I thought grammar would be very difficult to take. But I like linguistics because, like my professor, it actually inspired me to want to go the speech route. And I do actually want to work with kids that have disabilities. The class actually turned around for me because linguistics was my hardest class. I wasn't doing so well at the beginning, but I'm doing pretty okay. And when the next exam comes up, I do believe that I'll pass. There's another class that's called speech something. speech development, and it's also about talking, just like linguistics. There's some similarities, but the speech development class is more about kids and their development. So I love that idea because, I worked in a daycare. If you've been watching my channel, I worked in a daycare over the summer, learning about how kids talk, how kids speak and learn from, I believe, was it 24? We go from 24 months all the way up to the preschool stage. That was a class that I had today. Ooh, that I have to walk to so far away. Yes, development and linguistics. Both those classes go hand in hand. Linguistics I had yesterday, and that's my night class from 4 to 6:30. And then speech I had today, which was from 11 to 12:15. But the last class that I am going to talk about is British literacy. And this is the book that we are reading out of. Okay. This is the 4th edition, the Long Man Anthology, British Literature. This is British Literature 2. If you're an English major, or you will be an English major here at Jacksonville University, you are going to, college student. You are going to have to take British Literacy 1 and 2, and I'm taking British Literacy 2. And the book that we read for this week, I have British Literacy every Tuesday and Thursday at 9:30 a.m. Yes, in the morning. But the book that we read for this week, we discussed on Tuesday and Thursday, was Mrs. Dalloway. I don't know if you've read Mrs. Dalloway, but there's a few things that we discussed. I just wanted to look at my notes and go over some key things that were really cool and that stood out to me. Okay, good. Mrs. Dalloway is a novel by Virginia Woolf, and it speaks on Mrs. Dalloway, the main character. And the story goes that she is buying flowers for her party. She's getting ready for this party. The entire novel, she's getting ready for this party, but it also forms in the stream of consciousness. She's thinking about a man named Peter, who she thought she was going to marry and love, but she ended up marrying Richard, and she's considered middle-aged woman. And the author doesn't want you to see Mrs. Dalloway as just a lady that loves throwing parties, that loves the social aspect of, it also takes place in London. If I can do a vlog and go to London one day, but also takes place in London. The author Virginia Woolf doesn't want you to think of Mrs. Dalloway as just this party girl, I guess, if you can say that in modern terms. Yeah, right? Party girl. She wants you to think of Mrs. Dalloway as someone who is performing that idea of the stream of consciousness. Now, if you've never heard of the stream of consciousness, you should read some Freud and freak yourself out. Because Freud believes in the idea of childhood trauma and dreams and how that all relates to each other. And the reason why you think of things, your stream of consciousness, is because of what has happened to you in the past. The idea of daydreaming and dreams. Have you ever seen Chocolate Boy and Lava Girl? I would think that's a modern example of stream of consciousness and Freud. What else do we talk about? Is in the 20th century, the urbanization of, we talked about airplanes, technology of Ford, the car Ford. Yeah, the older version of the car Ford. Innovation and urbanization of airplanes takes place in London. And have you ever seen a beautiful London tower and has a giant clock? In Mrs. Dalloway, they call that the Big Ben clock. And we discussed that mortality, I said that wrong class, it was so bad. Mortality is when time will finish. So that also relates to this time period of modernism. That's the time period that we're in, 20th century modernism. And we also discussed unmooring, which is when you don't have any religious background. There was no concept of the afterlife. There is a suicide in Mrs. Dalloway. I won't say who to spoil it for you. If you really want to read Mrs. Dalloway, I think that you should, especially if you want to learn more about Freud and modernism and all those good things. But if you have no religious background, then you don't have we discussed that if you don't have religious background, then you don't have any concept of the afterlife. Mrs. Dalloway thought about the character who ended his or her life, won't give it away. She thought of it in a different way that someone religious would have thought of it. Hope that makes sense. And if you ever have any questions about any of the things that I've read for my junior year in any of my classes, please comment down below. And also, if you have any questions about Jacksonville University or coming to Jacksonville University or just college in general, you don't have to ask questions about this college particularly. But yeah, just ask me any questions. I want to get to know all my viewers. I really appreciate you watching this video. I have no idea when I'm going to end it, because I know that this is the only textbook, physical textbook that I have. I know I have one for speech development class, but that one is at home and I'm still on campus. And then my linguistics textbook is on my laptop. I think I showed you that a little bit, unless I deleted that part of the video. Because I tried to order my linguistics textbook and it took forever. And then I had my first quiz and failed it because I didn't have the textbook. And then I had to get it on my laptop, and then things got better after that. Oh yeah, and if you also want me to let you know and educate you on how to buy your textbooks affordably, comment and help me with anything that you need help with. I am here. I miss making these videos, and I really want to close my college videos out because I'm realizing it right now that it's your junior year. Spring semester's almost over, and then it'll be senior year, and then in the blink of an eye, hopefully not, never rush time, but in the blink of an eye, I'll be out of JU, no longer a college student. I really wanted to put out a few more vlogs and, end my playlist of Jacksonville University videos, because my last video, of course, would be me getting ready for graduation and then graduating. Yes, I will film that. Thank you so much for watching. I am Madi Laura, and I hope you come back soon, because I have more content as always. I am in the Oak Hall study room. This is one of the study rooms. Brendo, is this the only study room in Oak Hall, or is there more?
No, there's multiple.
How many do you think? Would you say?
10 or 12.
Okay. I'm in one of 10 or 12 study rooms in Oak Hall. So if you are going to stay on campus, and if you're a sophomore or junior, you're more than likely to stay in Oak Hall. And I believe Botts Hall is only for freshmen. And then you also have the apartments in North Hall as you become an upperclassman.
Williams also for freshmen.
It has to be for freshmen?
Williams and Oak are for freshmen.
Why are you so Oak?
No, I mean Williams and Botts are for freshmen.
Thank you, Dave. Williams and Botts are for freshmen.